Hi friends, welcome back to Edupedia World. Last lecture we compared and contrasted alpha, beta and gamma emission, the properties of all the three. Today what we will do is we will see what exact changes take place in the nucleus during alpha, beta and gamma radiations. We will see the nuclear reaction taking place and we will see examples for each of them. So let's start with the discussion. We have discussed that during radioactive decay, a nuclear change takes place. Radioactivity is a nucleus phenomena of the nucleus, and during nuclear changes, alpha, beta and gamma emissions takes place. Now let us discuss the exact chemical reactions, rather the nuclear reactions which takes place during each of the independent emissions. Let us begin with the alpha emission. As we discussed in the last lecture, alpha radiations are basically, alpha particles are basically charged helium particles, helium from which the two electrons are removed. So alpha emission has doubly charged helium particles being emitted. Now what exactly is happening during alpha emission? What is happening is something like this. You have a parent material with atomic number Z and mass number A. This parent material is decomposing into a daughter nucleus with atomic number Z minus 2 and mass number A minus 4 and a alpha particle, that is helium-24 with a 2 plus. Okay, I'm not writing that. This is basically the alpha particle. So what is happening is that in the nucleus, the parent material loses 2 protons. Z minus 2 means 2 protons is lost, and A minus 2 means 4 nucleons are lost. So this means 2 proton and 4 nucleon, which turns out to be, since 2 proton and nucleons is proton plus neutron, therefore alternatively we can say 2 proton and 2 neutron are lost by the parent element. Thereby the new element, the daughter element that is formed, is 2 elements below in the periodic table, that is Z minus 2. If this were 82, then this would have an atomic mass of 80, and in addition to that, the alpha, this difference is emitted as a alpha particle. Okay, now let us see an example of alpha radiation. An example of alpha particle emission or alpha radiation would be, suppose you have uranium 238. Uranium's atomic number is 92 and mass number is 238 for the radioactive uranium, the most radioactive uranium. This will give me 90 and 234, and if you see the periodic table, 90 belongs to thorium, Th, and since we have lost 2 proton and 2 neutron, therefore we will get a alpha particle. Okay, so this gives you an example of alpha emission, where the resultant daughter nucleus will have 2 proton and 2 neutron less. Next, let us see the beta emission. Let me use different color. Beta emission. Beta emission is basically a electron being emitted. An unstable nucleus, when it contains lot more number of neutrons than the number of protons, it becomes highly unstable, and the nucleus tries to undo the instability by transforming the excess number of neutrons to protons, thereby trying to balance the number of neutrons and protons, and that is done by beta emission. The beta particle is basically E minus 1 because of the one negative charge and 0, and the beta emission takes place like this. A neutron, which is a 0 1, undergoes a transformation, forms a proton which is 1 1, and in addition a beta particle or a electron is produced. And this, if you add up 0 over here plus 1 minus 1, 0, 1 over here plus 1 and 0, total of 1. Therefore both the atomic number and the mass number is conserved, and the beta particle is emitted. Also the stability is increased because the number of neutrons reduces by 1 for each beta emission and number of protons increases by 1 for each beta emission. Okay, and as you can see, the daughter product. Now let us write the reaction that is taking place. This is the exact change that is happening, but what is the change in the parent nucleus and the daughter nucleus? The parent nucleus, let us say, is XZA. This will undergo reaction, beta emission, to give a daughter Y, Z plus 1A, and a beta particle E minus 1 and 0. Therefore what we see here is that the mass number is retained but the atomic number changes. So if the mass number is same for two material whereas the atomic number is different, then these two materials, the parent and the daughter, can be said to be isobars. Therefore a beta emission produces a isobar in addition to the beta particle. Okay, an example would be, let's say if we have 14C6, this is a radioactive carbon. Normally carbon is 12 but radioactive carbon is 14, it is less stable. This will give 14N7 plus E0 minus 1. So we get nitrogen which is one higher in the periodic table, 6 to 7, but we get the same mass number. Okay, and obviously the beta emission. As we have seen in the last two discussions, that all the changes are basically taking place in the nucleus. So these are nuclear reactions. Finally, let us discuss the gamma emission. Let's do it here. Gamma emission. Now as we have already discussed that gamma particles are electromagnetic radiations, they are not particles per se. Now since they are electromagnetic radiations, they do not have a mass, they do not have a charge. So there is no particle being emitted, there is just electromagnetic radiation being generated. Therefore the parent nucleus and the resultant daughter nucleus will have the same atomic number and same mass number. The only change that will happen is that the parent nucleus will lose certain energy and that will be emitted as the gamma radiation. Fine. So if we want to write the reaction for the gamma emission, it would be something like this: XZA with a star, which means this is in the excited state, would give XZA in the stable state. It lost some energy, so it's in the stable state, plus gamma radiation. So gamma radiation normally takes place when the parent nucleus is in an excited state, higher energy state, and it wants to release the energy, and that it does via gamma radiation emission. When does this normally occur? This normally occurs after either a alpha emission or a beta emission. What happens is that as a result of the alpha emission, the daughter part nucleus that is generated still is quite active, as in it has a large amount of energy which it wants to get rid of. Therefore, it undergoes gamma transformation. Similarly, that similar process can happen after a beta emission too. Okay, so now we have seen the reactions for the alpha emission, the beta emission, and the gamma emission. But an important point to note is that it need not be that there is just one single alpha emission or one single beta emission for a parent nucleus. What can happen is that this parent nucleus can undergo a single alpha emission to give this daughter nucleus. Even this might not be stable, so it may further undergo another alpha emission to give Z-4 and A-8 daughter nucleus. Similar thing can happen in beta emission, that there might be multiple beta emissions to ultimately obtain a stable nucleus. And both the alpha and the beta emission, as we saw, can end up with a gamma emission. Okay, so to sum up, alpha emission, let me write it down: alpha, beta, gamma, Z and A. Alpha emission leads to a decrease of Z by 2 and of atomic mass by 4. Beta leads to an increase of atomic number by 1 and no change in the atomic mass. Therefore, isobar is formed. Gamma radiation, no change in atomic number or in atomic mass. Only energy is being released. Okay, so this gives you an idea about the different changes that takes place during the nuclear reaction, during alpha emission, beta emission and gamma emission. Next class we will see some of the uses of radioactivity, where it is used by us to help us in different aspects. We will see some sources of radiation and precautions that needs to be taken during handling of radioactive material. So till the next class, have a great day. Goodbye.